Howdy, folks. I'm Hasty Hassium, hectically hassling, heckling hamsters.
I'm Amber.
And here are more hassling hamsters for us to be heckled by. They're not very nice. Never tell a joke to hamsters because you will regret it. Let's get started. Alright, folks, and our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Letting My Mother-in-Law Join My Family Vacation? So, I'm a 32-year-old female, and my husband is a 38-year-old male. And we have been saving to go on vacation since early 2022. And we only have recently got the money for it. We are an upper middle class family, and we have 2 young kids, 4 and 6. My mother-in-law moved into our house in September and overheard us talking about our vacation. She believes, as she lives with us, that she should also go on the vacation with us. I told her no, and so did my husband. So in retaliation, she called all of my family members, half of them being on her side, and we began getting calls berating us for not being decent in inviting her. She even had the audacity to tell my children that she was going on vacation with us, as a way to try and guilt me into letting her come. I think that she may also have tried to get into my husband's bank account to steal money, as he got a call asking if he had tried to sign in, and he said that he hadn't. Half of my loved ones are against me right now. P.S. She has never done anything like this before, and has overall been respectful in our home. Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. This is not her vacation to dictate. Like, if she wants to go on vacation, she can plan her own vacation, but she can't just commandeer yours.
Yeah, I think that's what's important here, OP, is that you're welcome to have your own vacation free of your mother-in-law, especially since it doesn't sound like she's trying to pay her own way.
No, in the comments, OP says that she expects the OP and her husband to pay because they're family.
So I think it's real easy for her to be up here saying, oh, you people aren't acting like family. But why is it that family is allowed to essentially steal from family, right? Why would that be an allowed thing? So I think that her bad behavior here is, pretty terrible. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And I got time, 23 says, the moment she tried to manipulate your children, she should have been told to leave. She has no regard for the emotional trauma that she's placed on your children. She then tried to log into your bank account. How many red flags do you need? All the family that is upset will surely want to take mother-in-law in to live with them. Not the jerk, but you will be if you let your mother-in-law continue to live in your home. And OP replies, I forgot to add this. We are working towards kicking her out, but our family lawyer told us that we can't do that without giving her notice. We have asked all of the upset family, but they don't want her. Imagine that. I wonder why. And St. Alvis says, not the jerk. But I would love to hear more about the circumstances behind this. Do you actually want her there? Does your spouse? Does she want to be living with you guys? Is this a ran out of money thing? A needs constant care type thing? And OP replies, I did want her to be there, and so did my husband, because she is respectful, as I said. And now this makes us not want to have her. And no, she could buy a pretty average house if she wanted to and is healthy, but she likes being close to family. And Negative Reading 600 says, so if she has the money to buy a house, what's up with trying to steal it from the bank account? Does she think that you owe her a vacation and have to pay also like she's 12? And OP replies, I would guess it's so that we couldn't go because she can't. Oh, that's really rude then, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Prudent Border 5060 says, not the jerk, but kick her out. Stealing money or trying to do this is far over the line. One of her other gracious family members can take her in. There are certain things that you cannot overlook. Bringing your children in over this and the attempt of theft. You and your husband need to get on the same page. Does she do free childcare? What is the reason that she lives with you? And OP replies, sometimes if she has to do a lot of childcare because me and my husband are busy all day, we'll pay her. If it's only a half hour or around that, she always insists to do it free, and she lives with us to be close to family, and we let her as she was very respectful and didn't bother us at all.
Well, and one other thing that might be worth looking into is if she has never done anything like this before,
Yeah.
it might be worth potentially having her see her doctor because there are conditions like forms of cognitive decline that can affect people's personalities too.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an important point to make is that if she's always been very respectful, this is completely uncharacteristic of her, and this is something that she's just not normally prone to do. There may be some other underlying reason for that, so I think
Yeah.
that's fair.
I mean, some neurological conditions and whatnot can just, really change a person's personality and whatnot. So it may be worth just making sure that's not the case.
Yeah. All right, folks. Our next letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Not Letting My Daughter Switch to Cognitive Science? My daughter is a 19-year-old female and she's currently in her first year of university. She is taking computer science. This week is a semester break, so she's staying with us for the week. Yesterday, she told me that she wanted to switch out of computer science and into cognitive science. Her explanation was that she isn't enjoying computer science very much. She's enjoying cognitive science a lot more and the courses associated with it. I got upset and I asked her why she would take cognitive science. I told her that she can't do anything without a master's degree, while with computer science, she can find a job right out of university. Besides, as a computer scientist myself, she can have a guide to help her. She admitted that it was true that she needs to go to graduate school. She still has a plan. She said that she's not going to abandon computer science entirely yet, as she'll specialize in computer science. She also wants to take a minor in math and get some math courses in. She'll do a co-op and then work some time in the user interface research until she can afford to go to graduate school to work in academia, specifically on how the brain and computer science can be related. She even claimed that it would be more beneficial to her since thousands of other people are taking computer science anyways, and if she gets enough work experience, she can potentially become a software engineer or a data scientist. I wasn't satisfied with her explanation, and I told her that I can't support her on that since academia is a risky field, and her claim about doing data science with a cognitive science degree is like pointing to the left ear with the right hand instead of simply using the left hand to point at the left ear. She got mad and told me that it's my job to support her as a father, and I reminded her that she's only 19 years old and doesn't have any experience in the real world. She asked if I would rather have her be miserable when she's no longer 19 years old, and how is not paying for university any better than paying for a degree that I don't want. I reminded her that she'll be happy with a large amount of money, and that if she can get a job as a customer service person that doesn't require a degree, then I don't have to pay for it since it's not my money. So my money, my rules. She got upset and told me that I'm ruining her life and left. Today, she drove back to her university dorm and blocked my contacts. I'm starting to wonder if I should just support her even if I'm concerned about her choices. All right, folks, what do you think?
Yeah, I think OP is being a jerk here, and you should support her, even if that's not what you want. The important thing to remember is that kids are not are mini versions of you. Like,
Yeah.
they are their own independent people. And while you may really like what computer science has done for you, that doesn't mean it's going to be equally good for your daughter. And it sounds like money isn't the only thing that motivates her, whereas for you, it sounds like having a big paycheck is what's important.
Yeah, well, I'm a computer scientist, and I think I have an opinion on this one in particular, in that a lot of intro field, I see a lot of introduction, like low level programmers are going to be replaced by AI. And so your daughter, when she finishes school in 4 years, may not even have the opportunity to have a job in computer science. And so having her pick a field and degree that she's happy with is going to be just fine. And I know that right now things are looking like, oh, she'll have plenty of job opportunities in the future as a computer science. That might not be true, right? We don't know. That you never know what the future holds. And that's really what it boils down to. Maybe there's going to be a huge explosion in demand for cognitive scientists in the future because maybe they're going to need to have people understand how artificial intelligence works. And so maybe her idea of going into computer science and cognitive science isn't a bad idea. I can't read the future and I don't know if that's going to be the case or not, but it doesn't seem like it's any more risky than a computer science degree at this point in time.
Yeah, well, and having more fingers and more pots doesn't hurt in this case. Like, the more degree areas you have a decent knowledge of, like if she's doing the cognitive science with a computer science focus and also math, like there's enough things right there to give her a lot of opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
And like plenty of people get degrees outside of what they, or get jobs outside of what they get their degree in.
Yeah, and the thing is this, if she's not happy with the computer science degree, how is she going to perform in her job? Is she going to be satisfied with that job? And, if she isn't satisfied and she isn't performing well, then she's not going to earn a lot of money anyways, say if things stay the same and don't change in 5 years.
Right. Well, and even if she does, like, again, not everyone is motivated by having massive quantities of money.
Oh,
Like,
yeah, exactly.
it sounds like she has intrinsic motivations that she wants to fulfill that are different from yours.
Yeah.
And that's okay to have different priorities. In fact, I think it's in some ways a lot better to have motives beyond money for like what you want to do with your life.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Atomic Flutterby says, you're the jerk. She has clearly laid out a plan and she's done her research. I can tell you from experience, CS folks aren't that hard to find, and they don't have all the skills that they need outside of CS, which can make them hard to communicate with. However, someone who has a specialization in cognitive science and CS will be well prepared for work on the human-computer interaction. This is the probable direction that AI is going as the symbolic relationship between humans and machine evolves. Multidisciplinary studies with a foot in coding and a foot in an application are going to make your daughter invaluable. So don't be a jerk and be supportive. Your view is painfully narrow-minded, and it won't serve you well going forward either. Somebody has not come to realize how the world is about to change.
Yeah.
OP, not this
Yeah,
poster,
no, yeah,
you know.
of course.
Alright, folks, and our last letter is titled, Am I a jerk for refusing to lend my expensive camera to a friend who lost my previous one on a trip? Hi, I need your opinion on something that has been bothering me. A little background. I'm a 23-year-old girl who has a passion for photography. It's my escape, my passion, and a way for me to preserve the precious moments in my life. Presenting Madison, a 24-year-old female, a friend from my childhood, and Layla, a 25-year-old female. Madison's friend, who I don't really know very well. The truth is that I lent Madison a pricey camera a few months ago for a weekend trip that she was taking. We've been close for a very long time, so I didn't think that it would be a big deal when she told me that she would take great care of it. Well, guess what though? On her trip, she lost it. Then last week, Madison contacted me once more and asked to borrow my new camera, saying that she and Layla were planning another trip. Yes, the same pair that lost the previous one. Despite the fact that I'm not Sherlock Holmes, if you fool me twice, you should feel ashamed. You see what I mean. After giving it some thought, I told Madison the truth. I informed her that in light of the previous incident, I didn't feel comfortable lending my new camera. I told them how much the camera meant to me, both emotionally and financially. I was afraid that I would misplace something else important. Madison did not react well. She claimed that Layla was unrelated to the earlier incident and that I was being unfair, and that I should trust her. Layla added that she would take extra precautions and they would replace it if something went wrong. But Reddit, this is where I need your opinion. Am I the jerk for standing my ground and declining to give them the camera once more? I feel bad for not believing my friend, but I also can't get rid of the fear that the past will repeat itself. How do you feel? Alright folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Not the jerk. Even if she had never lost your camera, you still wouldn't be obligated to lend it to her.
Yeah.
But the fact that she was so careless the last time around didn't compensate you for the camera, it sounds like. And just like, she's like, oh, well, we'll take care of it this time around if we lose it again. Like, none of this inspires confidence in me.
Yeah. Well, as the expression goes that OP brought up, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And OP, I don't think that you should be fooled by them a second time. And if they want a camera, they can go buy their own camera.
Yeah.
This is your hobby, and they've clearly shown that they don't respect it in a way that, they clearly have shown that they don't respect it.
Well, and phone cameras these days are good enough for all practical purposes. Like, unless you're a professional photographer, you don't really need anything fancier than a relatively good phone camera.
Yeah.
Like, if they're just posting to Instagram or whatever, it will do the job.
Yeah, exactly. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Jaded Praline 2769 says, ask them to replace the first one in good faith and you would consider it. And OP replies, I appreciate the suggestion, but I did bring up the idea of them replacing the first one, and they seemed defensive, insisting that it wasn't entirely their fault. trust is a tricky thing, and right now I'm just not comfortable taking that risk again. You know, the thing is that it doesn't matter if it's your fault or not. What matters is that you were entrusted with something in your care and they didn't return it in the condition that they borrowed it in.
Right, and who's to say that they wouldn't find some way that it wasn't their fault this time around? Like, if they've weaseled their way out of it once before, they're going to do the same thing the next time around.
Yeah. So, again, if you borrow something from somebody, then it's one of those things where you have to accept the risk that if it gets broken or lost, that you need to fix it or replace it. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got some tea right here, and Amber has a cute joke for us.
How do you make a strawberry shake?
You scare it.
Yeah, take it to a monster movie.
Yeah, another monster movie, of course, of course. But the thing is that I think if I were being taken to any of the monster movies from the Jovial Bob Stein book, I don't think that the strawberry would be sufficiently scared. Just saying. I just don't think so. And I have licorice spice. Amber's just glaring at me. Save me. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have here today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Tuesday, spelled TWO. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance. And please, have it a short parable.
Once there were two turtles. And one of these turtles had a very nice camera. And the second turtle wanted to borrow the camera. Well, the second turtle borrows the camera and comes back and without the camera, and it's like, oh no, I lost it. Well, first turtle gets a new camera. Second turtle comes back and is like, oh, I really want to borrow your camera again. First turtle is hesitant, but eventually they give in and lend the camera. Well, because second turtle promises that if anything happens this time, they're going to replace it. Well, second turtle comes back sheepishly and is like, I was attacked by a wombat. It stole the camera. It's not my fault. And so first turtle had no camera anymore and had to buy a new one.
Yeah, that's a parable. That's a parable. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye.